We saw something in the water. I was just looking, is this something dangerous that needs to be marked?
Filled with mystery and danger.
Look at that face.
Oh my God!
Swamps sometimes reveal creatures beyond imagination. From strange, unidentified species to aggressive predators coming from its depth.
Flap! Come here, Flap!
Here are the shocking times when terrifying swamp encounters got caught on camera and left everyone stunned. White swamp monster. An Indonesian YouTuber claimed to have seen a strange creature in a nearby swamp, though none of his friends believed him. Determined to prove it, he took his friends to the swamp and decided to record everything on camera. Just as they began talking about the creature, they heard noises coming from the swamp. They were shocked to see a white humanoid creature emerging from the water. Upon seeing them, the creature retreated into the swamp, and the friends, scared, ran out as well. It seemed like the creature may have been just as frightened of them as they were of it. Mermaid. Two men were near a swamp late at night when they heard strange noises. Curious and undeterred by the hour, they crossed a bridge to investigate. To their astonishment, they saw a mermaid sitting quietly by the shore. One of the men, thinking it might be a prank, approached the mermaid and tried to pick her up. But as soon as he touched her, the camera began to blur, and within moments, the mermaid slipped from his grasp and disappeared into the water. This surreal incident left both men convinced that mermaids are real. Pacu fish. A fisherman proudly showed off his unusual catch on camera. While its pitch-black color and size weren't too surprising, its teeth were. The fish had teeth that looked strikingly similar to human teeth, though shockingly, they were crooked and crowded. This oddity wasn't an anomaly, though, as this was a pacu fish, a freshwater relative of the piranha. Unlike piranhas, pacu fish have human-like teeth for grinding plant matter. Mutated fish. Some locals were spending a day by the river when one of them decided to fish. To his surprise, he thought he had hooked a huge catch, but upon closer inspection, the fish looked unusual. It had bulging eyes and a distorted humanoid face. The locals were amazed and began to speculate about what could have caused the fish's strange appearance. Some theorized it was a rare species, while others believed it could be a mutation caused by pollution in the river. Do you think throwing waste into rivers could cause such abnormalities? Dog versus splash.
Flap! Come here, Flap!
In this footage, a poor dog is seen swimming in the lake, and suddenly a giant splash of water appears and takes the poor dog with it. Unfortunately, it was so fast that even the person recording couldn't do anything for the dog. This lake is one of the largest lakes in the Adirondack. Yes, it looks like a perfect place for boating and hangouts. But for years, it has been known for the alleged sightings of an enormous swimming monster that have captured the imagination of locals, visitors, and even scholars. Vicious creature. A fisherman was calmly kayaking when he noticed large patches of seaweed floating nearby. Suspicious that something dangerous might be lurking beneath, he was suddenly jolted as a huge creature surfaced under his kayak. The creature bangs the kayak, attempting to throw him into the water. Fortunately, the fisherman managed to maintain his balance and escape the mystery monster. He later discovered that the wild creature was actually a group of manatees, although their behavior was far from friendly that day. Two mouths fish. While fishing in a remote lake, the fisherman felt a sudden tug on his line. As he reeled in his catch, he was stunned to discover a mutant fish with two mouths, even though it had two mouths, but it was strangely toothless. As he posted it online, it quickly went viral, sparking curiosity and disbelief among fellow anglers. They started saying it could be a genetic mutation or either a result of throwing toxins into the water. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. Sinkhole. A massive sinkhole formed in Bayou Corn, Louisiana in 2012, and it continued to expand into 2013. This video captured a striking moment as trees were dramatically swallowed by the sinkhole, vanishing into the earth. A collapsed underground salt dome used for mining by the Texas Brine Company caused the sinkhole, which led to environmental concerns and the evacuation of nearby residents. This viral video shows just how destructive natural disasters can be, reminding us of nature's unpredictable power. Bubbles underwater. It's exciting to see rare and unique creatures underwater, but if you ever encounter them in real life, you'd likely freak out. Check out this video and decide for yourself. Does it show a sinkhole or a massive creature lurking underwater? Some locals living nearby captured this footage of a massive object beneath the water, which they believe could be a huge monster. However, others argue that it might just be a sinkhole. What do you think? Comment down below. Alligator feeding.
Get up here. Come on, get up here. Now who's your good girl?
A tour guide in Florida who leads small kayak trips through the swamp decided to feed a hungry alligator in front of the visitors. He was holding a small piece of meat. He tempted the eager gator, who seemed excited and even tried to jump onto the boat. Just in time, the guide fed the treat to the alligator and, in a surprising display of affection, gave the cute guy a gentle head rub before it slipped back into the water. The footage captures the heartwarming bond between the two. Endangered monster.
Good job, Spencer. I kind of tried to fail that. That's sick.
While fishing in a river, a group of fishermen were stunned when they caught something amazing. After several attempts, one of them managed to reel in an endangered pallid sturgeon that had been on his bucket list for over 32 years. It had a dinosaur-like appearance and a long, flattened snout with a pale, grayish-white coloration, which helps it blend into the murky waters it inhabits. The fishermen were absolutely stunned by their catch and its impressive size. Due to their endangered status, pallid sturgeons are rarely seen anymore, making this a once-in-a-lifetime catch. Creepy creature. In a nearly destroyed area, a cameraman was documenting shallow, muddy pools of water that appeared completely lifeless. As he moved across the murky surface, something unexpected and mysterious emerged from the water and shocked him. He thought he had discovered a bizarre, unknown species of fish or creature. Eager to share his find, he uploaded the footage online, where viewers quickly pointed out that this wasn't some new, mysterious creature at all. In fact, it was a lungfish, a species capable of surviving in such harsh, lifeless environments. And because the camera was zoomed in, it looked like some creepy monster appearing from mud. 50 feet anaconda. A video recently circulated on social media claimed to capture a massive 50-foot anaconda swimming across a river in Brazil. The person who recorded the footage insisted that it was the largest snake ever seen, which sparked excitement and speculation online. Many believe the claim due to the snake's seemingly gigantic size in the video. The footage instantly got the attention of news channels, and they even began an investigation about the huge reptile. Some said it appeared enormous only because of the angle at which it was filmed, while others called it real convincing footage of the 50 feet anaconda. Brunei creature. A fisherman in Brunei captured unbelievable footage while out fishing. A strange creature swimming in the river caught his attention, and he began filming it enthusiastically, trying to figure out what it was. The creature was brown in color, and as it was half in the river, it was hard to identify the creature. Unfortunately, while filming, he got a little too curious and fell off his kayak, and the creature snapped toward him. Although the guy was able to come out of the monster's grip, he claimed it was nothing he had ever seen before. And the video capturing a close glimpse of it made people agree with the man. Three-eyed pickerel.
Dude, did I just catch a three-eyed southern pickerel?
A fisherman was out on his small boat when he spotted a pickerel fish. Initially, he was impressed with his catch, not realizing that the fish was unusual. Upon closer inspection, he noticed that the fish had 3 eyes. He was amazed, as he had never seen anything like it before. Despite the strange appearance, the fish wasn't demonic or a mutant, just a rare case of genetic mutation. In the end, he decided to release the poor creature back into its habitat. Fishman. A group of Indonesian men headed to an infamous swamp after hearing stories from locals about a creature they called the Fishman. Excited by the prospect, the men ventured out on a small boat in the middle of the night, using a whole chicken as bait. Within seconds, a bizarre humanoid creature popped out of the swamp, grabbed the chicken, and disappeared into the murky water. The creature had a human-like face, but its hands resembled those of an amphibian. Was this a rare species, or just another hoax? What do you think? Massive caiman. A group of fishermen spotted a huge caiman lurking near the shoreline and decided to get a closer look. At first, the caiman seemed calm, but as they got too close, the massive crocodile became aggressive. It suddenly lunged at them, forcing the fishermen to retreat quickly. Fortunately, they avoided any further incidents and continued their day without harm. That's why we should stay away from these creatures, because we never know when they are hungry and ready to snap us in half. Aggressive otter. A family enjoying their summer by the water noticed a cute otter nearby. One of them decided to approach it, but the small creature wasn't as friendly as they expected. It was filled with aggression. They quickly realized the otter was protecting its babies, which is why it kept charging at the intruder. One family member urged the man to leave, understanding that the otter was just being protective. They safely guided the man out of the otter's territory before the situation escalated further. But it seemed like the otter was way too possessive about her babies that it kept coming back until they left for good. Menacing experience.
A Florida man swings across a pool of alligators and the rope snaps.
A zookeeper in Florida, who has a duty of feeding the alligators on a daily basis, was feeling a little naughty one day when this incident happened. He tied a rope with a tree and tried to swing over the pit from one rock to another. He was positive that he could easily cross the entire river without falling into it. But, unfortunately, the rope was against his fate and broke off, and he fell into the pit and narrowly escaped the croc. Turtle rescue. Locals spotted a helpless leatherback turtle trapped in a swamp, so they initiated a rescue operation. 2 men worked together to free the turtle from its difficult situation. After some effort, they successfully rescued the turtle and released it back into its natural habitat without any harm. Swamps can be dangerous for animals due to the muddy conditions, and animals can become trapped in the waterlogged terrain. In some cases, oxygen levels drop, making it even more hazardous. Thankfully, this turtle was saved just in time. Secret experiment. A man passing by a construction site near a small swamp spotted something unusual. A strange creature lying lifeless by the water's edge. Shocked by the bizarre sight, he rushed home to tell his brother, and together they returned to investigate further. What they discovered was unsettling. The creature had a label that read "Inspection Approved," with a category marked as 3. This cryptic label raised suspicions, suggesting that the creature might have been artificially created in a lab and discarded once it was no longer useful. Could this odd find be evidence of a secret experiment gone wrong? Well, I believe so! Lizard Man. Indigenous people living near a swamp have long shared stories about a man-eating monster known as the Lizard Man. These locals tend to avoid the swamp due to its notorious reputation. Recently, someone passing by the swamp claimed to have captured footage of the creature on camera. Unfortunately, the footage was blurry, making it difficult to determine what the creature truly was. While the man who filmed it insisted it was the Lizard Man, to others, it appeared more like a bipedal ape. They called it the legendary Bigfoot's footage that the man captured. What do you think? Believe his claim or trust your own eyes? Amazon Beast. It's hard to believe a creepy encounter until you witness it yourself. A man sitting by a swamp heard a rustling sound and thought it might be a strange animal. He pulled out his camera, and to his shock, he saw an Amazon cryptid with a humanoid body and the face of a beast. He quickly snapped a picture and bolted out of there as fast as he could. Could this be another mysterious creature lurking in the Amazon? Humanoid creature. On July 9th, 2018, a fisherman in China made a strange catch while fishing. A weird creature got stuck on his bait, and when he reeled it in, he was in for a surprise. At first glance, the creature resembled a pile of garbage with maggots crawling on top. But upon closer inspection, it revealed a humanoid face with 2 bulging eyes, and it was even moving. This rare creature remained unidentified, but it certainly warrants scientific attention to its name. Bog Body. Famers in a remote bog were hitting something while digging for peat, and they uncovered a corpse. It was so well preserved that initially they thought that it was a newly passed body. The corpse was of a small-sized old man, but the farmers were unable to identify the race of the body. Upon examination, the police revealed that it was an incredibly well-preserved body, which is more than 2,400 years old. These bodies are naturally preserved by the cold, acidic conditions of peat bogs in northern Europe. Unlike skeletal remains, bog bodies preserve soft tissues like the brain, innards, and facial expressions, offering a unique glimpse into the past. Kype salmonfish. While fishing for salmon, a man noticed something unusual about his catch. Those salmon had weirdly elongated jaws that made them look like mutants. He got very curious, thinking that he might have caught something mutant. He posted it online for clarification. Experts came forward and explained that this jaw transformation happens during spawning season when salmon migrate from the ocean to rivers. The hormonal changes cause their jaws to grow, which helps them in mating and survival. So now you guys know that it wasn't some mutant or rare fish. It was just an ordinary salmon with a little natural change. Brain-like blob. What you're seeing right now seems unbelievable, but this brain-like slimy blob found in Vancouver's swamps is actually a living organism. Well, for your information, it is not really a brain, although it may look like one. Scientists discovered it when water levels were dropped in the swamps, and they identified it as a bryozoan, a colony of small organisms that form a gelatinous, brain-like structure. This strange discovery highlights just how many unknown creatures exist in our underwater ecosystems. Few scoops of swamp. A man conducted an experiment on swamp water and filled a jar full of muddy swamp water to test it out for 7 days. Over 7 days, a jar of swamp water and mud turned into a micro-ecosystem. Green algae appeared, followed by tubifex worms emerging from the dirt. By day 3, worms multiplied, and microscopic footage showed elastic bodies and baby worms. On day 5, clusters of worms and snails gathered on the water's surface, with a water bug carrying an air bubble beneath it. The water cleared by day 6, but worm populations exploded, accompanied by cyclops, copepods, and tiny shrimp-like creatures. By day 7, translucent worms covered the jar, alongside more water bugs and unknown insect species. Loch Ness at the shore! A man stood alone near the shore when he stumbled upon what he believed was the Loch Ness monster. Excited, he filmed the sight and posted it online, letting viewers speculate on whether it was the real deal. The video quickly went viral, and people were convinced it was the legendary creature. However, in a twist, the man later uploaded the rest of the footage, revealing that the Loch Ness monster was nothing more than a submerged tree branch. It was all just a clever joke. Grouper pukes crab.
Whoa! Whoa! Look at that! I just spit out a full crab!
A group of excited fishermen had high hopes for their day on the water when they believed they had hooked a shark. As they reeled in the line, their anticipation quickly turned to surprise when they discovered they had actually caught a large grouper fish. Just as one of the fishermen was about to remove the bait from the grouper's mouth, it unexpectedly expelled a crab. The funniest part of the situation was that the grouper had already been holding on to prey, but still managed to fall for their bait. This unexpected turn of events made for an entertaining fishing trip, leaving everyone laughing at the grouper's appetite. Underwater creature. A video surfaced online with a poster claiming to have spotted a huge creature lurking in a water canal. This sparked bizarre rumors as viewers began sharing their own accounts of strange sightings in the same canal. Before the speculation could go out of control, workers who were maintaining the canal stepped forward to clarify the situation. They explained that they had been using a weed-cutting machine, which produced the unusual noises captured in the video. According to them, there was no monster lurking in the canal, just the sounds of their equipment at work. Monster feeding on a carcass. A man was in murky water fishing because decided to have some fish for dinner. And while he was on a small boat looking for prey, a lifeless fish was floating on top of the water. Suddenly, a massive-sized creature came and started smacking on the fish carcass. The creature was not very visible, as it was hard to see underwater. It gave the appearance of a monstrous creature, but if I zoom the footage and make it a bit slower, we can see its shell, which tells us that it is a huge turtle looking for food. Aggressive bull shark. A live streamer found himself on a small boat when he unexpectedly encountered a massive bull shark. At first, he speculated that the creature might be mating, unaware that bull sharks are known to be one of the most aggressive shark species. As the shark circled the boat, it seemed to be sizing up the men on board, potentially planning to charge at them. Fortunately for the streamer and his companions, the bull shark suddenly changed its mind and swam away, seeking out another target. They breathed a sigh of relief, grateful for their close call with one of the ocean's most formidable predators. Stranded whale.
Looks like a little whale.
A man who was passing by the River Thames spotted a whale stranded in the river, which attracted the attention of dozens of people because people wanted to help the minke whale. A man attempted to help the whale by hosing down the whale while the crowd gathered was hoping for a positive outcome. Rescuers from the Royal National Lifeboat Institute took hours to move the whale to safety, using a large float. Unfortunately, by the time help arrived, the whale's condition had already worsened. The arapaima fish. This man was in a fish tank causally filming himself with the fish. These fish were huge and gave the appearance of a snake. As he was lying in the tank, one of the fish got terrified and started shaking its tail vigorously, due to which the guy also got scared of the arapaima fish. So, that's why he got out quickly. So guys, be careful whenever you're near a wild animal, because you never know when they change their mind and make you their meal. Massive catch. In Chenab River, Pakistan, some fishermen spotted a huge fish in the river, so they threw a fishing bait, and very cleverly they caught the fish in the net. It was so big that they had to weigh it down, and after weighing it, they found out that it was a 200-pound catfish. An average size of a catfish is between 2 to 4 pounds, but this one right here is definitely a major catch, and they carefully loaded it into the truck. Darling River.
And all you can see is dead fish. The smell is unbelievable.
Darling River in Australia has always been a concern for the locals because many innocent fish lose their lives in those waters. This man had captured footage of thousands of lifeless fish floating over the river, and he was extremely distressed by what he had seen. The locals were saying the cause of this incident was due to the government throwing toxins into the river, but later they clarified this was happening due to the low levels of oxygen in the water. People are not buying this claim. They think that the government is trying to cover the situation. Fish haul. Catching fish is a hassle, but you get lucky when the water is flowing so fast that it starts to flow within the same direction, where the water is taking them. These locals saw that these fishes in the river were drifting with the flow, so the thought of catching them occurred in their heads. They all gathered up and started hauling on the fish, and luckily they got to secure much fish, enough to feed their family for days. This happens when luck is on your side and you get hassle-free food. 100-year-old fish.
My name is Dick Arnold. I'm here with Rob.
A man named Dick Arnold and his friend are holding a 100-year-old lifeless fish in their hands and expressing their concerns over the demise of an iconic Australian fish in the Darling River. They were stressed about the government's environmental calamity. They were calling this situation a disgrace and were frustrated over the situation of the river. He's spreading awareness by his words to take care of aquatic life. Skillful fish catching. A fisherman in rural Vietnam uses bridge tunnels as a fishing spot after floods. He is a skillful and daring fisherman who navigates alone in the murky waters without any assistance, just guiding himself with the help of a rope to minimize resistance. He passes the net to his son on the shore, which shows the duo's teamwork. They successfully pull the net ashore, catching small fish that will feed their family for days. River creature. A tourist boat was moving slowly down a river surrounded by mountains when the passengers saw something strange in the water. A creature was gliding smoothly just below the surface, and everyone quickly started taking photos and videos. People began to wonder if it was some kind of river monster. Just as the excitement grew, one person on the boat recognized the creature and told everyone it was a great sturgeon, also called a beluga sturgeon. This fish is one of the largest and oldest freshwater creatures in the world. Even though the mystery was solved, everyone was amazed by seeing such a rare and special creature up close. Chernobyl mutant.
Long, dark, tapering body shape, the wide head.
In Chernobyl, Ukraine, Jeremy is fishing in the channels near the famous reactor, looking for a rumored mutant fish from the Cold War. After he catches a big one, he says that it is a very rare find with its long, dark body, wide head, slimy skin, and special teeth. Later, research shows that this Chernobyl catfish is actually smaller than he thought. Now let us move on to our subscribers' pick of the day. In a vast Canadian swamp, numerous witnesses have reported sightings of a creature reminiscent of the Loch Ness monster, albeit smaller in size. The initial sightings date back to the 1990s, but recently, a fisherman managed to capture several intriguing images using his GoPro camera. As these images circulated on social media, speculation surged, with many viewers suggesting that the creature bore a striking resemblance to a prehistoric plesiosaurus. This has ignited a debate. Could this be evidence that prehistoric creatures still roam the earth? The mystery surrounding this swamp dweller continues to captivate the imagination, leaving many to wonder what else might be lurking beneath the murky waters. See you next time!